Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And Creature.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss episode 3 and 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. But before we get into it, I'm going to remind everyone we have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to reach that as soon as possible, so go ahead and hit that button. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Now, Miss Creasha, what did you think of our design challenge and our commercials that we had to shoot?
Mm. The design count challenge was kind of cute. I think some people got unnecessarily mad about things.
We're going to discuss.
Um, and as far as the commercial is concerned, those were cute.
They were cute. I thought they were really good episodes. Those lip syncs.
Mm.
Two songs that I have been wanting for a while, and yeah,
Mm.
we'll discuss. But let's go ahead and get into the gig of it all. So we're starting off with episode
Yeah,
3
you.
when Hormona Lisa was saved by the Badonkadonk.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, they sit down, they congratulate her on pulling the correct lever. And I don't know what Corey King's issue with Hormona Lisa is. I don't get it at this point. But it's like every chance Corey gets. Of course, I just wanted to dwindle down. And I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. But at the same time, like even, I think Lexi, in the next episode or even this episode, she's like, someone needs to go home. And I'm like, oh, damn. Y'all do realize y'all signed up for this show that's gonna take months of y'all's life to do. Because I think it takes about 2 months to shoot a regular season of Drag Race.
Right.
And
I
if you
don't
plan on
necessarily.
being there the whole time, no matter what happens within those 2 months, you're gonna be there the full 2 months. If you're lucky enough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's tired at this point. And it's just like we know we've been watching for a while now. Nobody goes home on the first 2 episodes.
Right.
Or if somebody do go home, it's at the end of the second, because that's what happened with Irene. She went home at the end of the second episode. So it's just like, come on now, come on. But they congratulate Crystal and the winner of last week's challenge, Lexi Love.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a little moment with Lana Jarrett and Miss Slasian Diva herself, Joella.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lana felt some type of way about Joella telling her that she didn't really care for her number.
Right.
And for me, if I was Lana, I wouldn't have said a word, knowing how I voted.
Right.
And she was like, oh, it's not about that, it's about giving each other props. And I'm like, well, come to find out, later in this episode, you voted her low. You didn't like hers, but yet you were fake to her face. I'd rather have Joella tell me the truth and be like, I didn't live,
Right.
than for you to tell me that you did live just for me to find out later that you actually did not live.
Right.
So yeah, I thought this was... There's a lot of interesting characters this season.
Very much so.
Like, the only quiet one, in my opinion, was Lucky. And we saw what happened with Lucky. She's a star. But yeah, so we move on to Hormona Lisa reading Joella about her wig again. And I don't care what nobody say. Hormona, she's like, y'all can say what y'all want, but guess what? I'm going to read you right back. And then they all act surprised when she starts reading back. I'm like, y'all come for this girl every chance you get. So when she starts coming for y'all, now y'all like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I think
I
it's
was
just
there like, read Joella again.
I think everybody is just. I don't want to say jealous. I think
I do
nervous.
think there's a sense of jealousy there because I know I would feel some type of way about
Right.
Harmona being there. And I'll be like, I
Definitely.
actually had to audition and do this and do that and turn in and blah blah. And you just showed up to one of the book signings and RuPaul's like, yeah, come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Right.
Like, I would feel like she jumped the line. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's necessary to constantly beat her down for it because if the shoe was on the other foot, I would have did that too. I would have been like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think everybody's just afraid that there's gonna be some favoritism there. Like, oh, I handpicked this person, so I'm not gonna send them home right away.
Mm-hmm.
So
But yes, they come into the
I,
workroom the next day. They're sitting down, they're chatting. RuPaul comes in and announces that this week they will be designing outfits inspired by the game Monopoly. So, to
yes.
determine what color they're going to get, they're going to have to pull a property out of this box here.
Yes.
So, they go through, they pick
Community
their
test.
properties, and whatever money's on there, they actually win that as well, which I thought that was cute.
Right? Yeah.
So, at
That
the
was
end of
nice.
all this, the colors ended up being red, yellow, blue, green, and orange. Which color did you want to get?
Of course, blue.
I have to
Who
agree
wouldn't want
because blue
blue?
had the most money on it.
That part. Boardwalk.
Give me the blue. I want the most money, okay? But like, if I had to pick my favorite
Hmm.
color, obviously I would go for orange. But yeah, I know they didn't have a choice, but this is how it ended up. And then RuPaul said that they're
Right.
not going to be judged as teams. This is an individual challenge. And I'm like, this would be a
Hmm.
fun way to do what they did on season 2 of UK. Who wore it better?
Hmm.
I think this would have been a
Right.
fun way to do that for this challenge. One's in the
Hmm.
top, one's safe, one's in the bottom. Except for the
Right.
two blues, you're either top or bottom.
Hmm.
So I think that's how I would have approached this. But hey, every person for themselves, fine. So they start their designing. They get their stuff together. We see this trim here. Notice this trim. We'll be back to this.
But here's the thing, because that trim is a completely different trim than what ended up on the outfit.
It's the same trim if you go look. It is the same trim. But
But you see how much there is.
yes, I see how much there is. But trust me, we gonna talk about it. So RuPaul comes in to do the walkthroughs as normal, and afterwards, she just happens to drop on the table. Here's how everybody ranked each other. All right, bye.
Bye.
Ru-
Toodles.
RuPaul messy, and I loved it. So, and we saw
Mm.
everyone, and we saw how everyone voted. Like in Susie's case, Hormona, Corey, Lexi, and Sam all voted her number one.
Mm-hmm.
So these two start shaking in their boots, Arietti and Lana, because you know their alliance that they have.
Alliance.
So we go through, we're looking at everybody's. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Anya was really upset though about the fact that they didn't vote fairly. And
Right.
I get it, but at the same time, I'm like,
It, it's a
I,
game.
it's a game. I like if me and you were in that workroom together, I would have purposely did the same thing. Like, hey, you on this one, I'm on the other. We got each other's back.
Right.
And
And the thing is at the end of the day, you were marked safe. Because I was thinking about it while I was watching it. If I was in the workroom and that had been dropped, I was like, I wouldn't have stopped what I was doing unless production told me I had to. Because I'd have sat there and been over there in the corner still sewing. Okay, you saw how I voted. Whatever. It's done. It's over with now. We're all back here. We're all still here. We're all getting ready. I don't care about those challenges. We did those challenges. I'm worried about this one right here because now I'm putting myself at risk. I really could go home. You
I don't
know?
know. You know me. I'm nosy. I'd have ran over to that table. Thank you. Let me see how y'all voted me. Oh, trifling bitches. Trifling. But yeah, I got where Anya was coming from, but I also understood where Ariette and Lana. It's a game. Like, and Lana was like, I wanted to make sure the people that I wanted here stayed.
Exactly.
Honestly,
I voted how I voted. So what?
Thank you. Thank you. But we see everyone's votes from both premieres.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was shocked. Well, they weren't shocked, but they were shocked to see that Ariana and Lana had an alliance. I'm like, it is what it is.
That part.
I was shocked Corey was as low as Corey was. I'm like, Corey was 6th place? I get it, the runway wasn't the best, but the actual, Shake That Ice, I thought was quite funny. And was done very well, so I'm shocked that the queens disagreed. I was shocked there. So afterwards, and that's the tea. So they get back to work. And the next day when they come into the workroom, Hormona Lisa comes in storming, pissed. And apparently what Miss Hormona Lisa did was using jewels that she brought from the house. And put them on her gown, and Miss Lexi called her out for it. But if you go online, Lexi also said that Susie Toot did it too. She called her out. But Susie didn't come into the workroom pouting like Hormona did.
Right.
She just came in and started, doing whatever she had to do. But Miss Hormona Lisa came in fuming. And seeing the final product, she really didn't need them because the final product was still great, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think she just wanted... I mean, you have to use what's in the workroom. What made you think it was okay to use stuff from home? I did hear on the TikTok talks that she thought she had permission, and then when they asked her to tell us or tell whomever who gave her permission to do so, she couldn't point out who gave her permission.
I remember hearing that as well, that she was not able to provide a name or at least point to the person who told her she could do it, and that's what is. That's what got her.
Suspicious.
That's what got her. But yeah, so she sat there, she got them off. I would be mad though, because look how small they are. I have to Oh, I'll be so mad. But at the same time, if you're gonna do something, make sure A, you don't get caught, or B, make sure you have somebody point, like that person told me I could do it. Because then it's just gonna look like you were lying and you just decided to use your own jewels. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we get the next chapter of the Lydia and Corey King showmance. We get the Chesmisa, I know I'm saying that wrong, corner with Ariette and Jewel Sparkle. I love these two together. I love these two together. They had me hollering.
I need that shirt.
Thank you. I know somebody who makes shirts, but I think I'm gonna go to the other person because I'm mad at her right now.
Uh-oh. Ew, people.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm loving their friendship as well. So now let's talk about Trimgate. So Jules was upset that Anya stole some trim from her to use for her garment.
Right.
So, me personally, I felt like it was blown out of proportion a little bit.
It was.
And if Jules really felt some type of way, she should have just said something directly to Anya instead of speaking loudly around Anya. That
Right.
that was a little childish to me, because
Right.
if I'm in a competition and I feel like you just did me dirty, I'm finna say something to you. I'm gonna be like, I told
Exactly.
you I was gonna use this trim. Why did you take my stuff from me? Because I agree with her. We all go to that table, we claim what we want. And then if I
Mm-hmm.
don't need it, I'll give it away. Especially when they showed the clip showing that Jules said, I'm going to use this. And Anya was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, I'm just going to take this right over here. Um, to me personally, I don't feel like it was that deep, because
Mm-hmm.
seeing what Jules did at the end, honestly, she didn't really need the trim.
That part.
And then seeing what Anya produced, she really needed that trim.
Exactly.
So I feel like I would be a little annoyed, but I would have said something directly to Anya instead of, I can't believe, LaCresha, that Anya did that to me, blah, blah, blah. Just speaking loud as hell, knowing the girl right here.
The thing is I really, really hate passive aggressiveness. Like, it takes a really bad toll on me mentally. Um, I'm proud of myself. It is January 26th. I have not had a depressive moment, because usually January I get really, really depressed, but December was good. January's been good so far. Um, and the thing is like, what would send me into those depressive states are people being extremely passive aggressive. I experienced extreme passive aggressiveness out there when I was in your town with you, with certain people. And then when I got to the first school I worked at, the person who I worked with closely and was supposed to be like the team captain was really passive aggressive and uncommunicative when she needed things. And I'd sit there and I'd be like, okay, well, what do you need from me? Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need that? Oh, no, I don't know. Or wouldn't say anything, and then would turn around and be like, it would be nice if somebody would. I asked you 5 minutes ago. And after 2.5 years of dealing with it, she got me so close to getting fired.
Yeah.
So close. Because I'm just like, oh my gosh, kid, I'm telling you to stop. I'm telling you not to do these things. And I'm saying it loud enough. You are not even 5 feet away from me. So you hear me telling this kid, hey, sweetheart, don't do that. Hey, don't put that down. Hey, don't do this. No, let's play with it on the table. And then I'm finally just like on this little tether, and I'm just like, let me say something sarcastic to alleviate the fact that I'm getting upset that this kid's not listening to me. Oh, I wish I could sit here and play with nasty Play-Doh and put it all over my face and not get pimples. Well, maybe you should. Did you not hear me for the last 5 minutes tell this kid to put it down? For the last 5 minutes. Then you want to sit there and throw that trigger word in my face. Common sense. Common sense would say. Anyways, that trim that I'm looking at right there, that beaded trim, I don't see where she would have used it. I know that Anya used the floral trim. She needed that floral trim. That floral trim made the outfit. That beaded trim, I don't remember seeing it, but maybe when we get to judging the costumes, I can look for it, because it seems like all she used was the floral, at least in these clips. But yes, I hate passive aggressiveness, and I could see how that would trigger Anya. And Anya was justified in turning around and being like, you know what? If you have a problem, if you got something to say it to my face. Don't sit here and just say it out loud.
Yeah, because like I said, that would have been me. I would have went straight to Anya and be like, hey, I didn't appreciate that. Like,
And then,
especially after I told you what I was fixing to do with it.
exactly. And even then, like, yo, she probably used maybe a yard, and if I'm looking at what she's looking at, you have basically an entire roll. So that means you have at least 3 or 4 yards. You were not about to sit here and use 3 or 4 yards of trim, because yards, a yard is 3 feet.
Yeah.
You're not about to sit here and use 20 feet of freaking trim on your ruched dress. There's no need for it. Because if you do that, it becomes busy and it'll be unlikable. And you know already, Michelle don't like green. Even though it's Celadon green she doesn't like, not necessarily Hunter green, which is what that was.
But yeah,
she's not a Celadon or a Kelly green person.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, I felt like it could have been handled a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
But I just love how Anya stood in her decision. She's like, yeah, I did it. We're supposed to share, which is true. We're supposed to be sharing this material.
Right.
So, yeah, that was what that was. But I love, in the midst of their argument, everyone stopped what they were doing. Because who would, baby, it would have been me. I would have been like, what?
Wait, let me get the popcorn.
I would have put down my brushes and everything. Hold on, let me grab my water. And you know me, I'm messy. That ain't what you told me earlier. This is what she said earlier too. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm. You'd have been the one they were talking to. Girl, I heard you was mad about that trim. What happened with the trim?
So let's get to the main stage. Up first, we have our hostess with the mostest, RuPaul. What did you think of Mother, and what's your score?
This dress was too busy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I really wasn't a fan of the dresses these last 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it like a B-.
I actually love it. It gets an A- for me. The wig needs to come down just the slightest of a hair. Just a small little...
Just a smidge.
Smidget. But yeah, I really like this. I thought this was cute. So this week, we are joined by Michelle Visage, T.S. Madison, and Sandra Bernhard. I love Sandra, okay? I need more Sandra on my TV at all times, okay?
Favorite lesbian.
Like, if I see that she's in something, I'm immediately interested. Like, when she popped up on Pose, I'm like, oh, my good sis is here. My good sis is here. But yes, the category is Monopulence. You own everything. Up first, representing St. James Place, we have Lucky Stars.
Can I just, pause for just a second and say I absolutely love the screen in the back.
Let me go back and get the shot. Like, I'm loving the new main stage. I'm like, yes, we've been needing this. We've been needing this.
And all of the color, the retro Monopoly faces, I love it.
Yes.
All right, now you can go.
Oh no, you're first. What did you think of Lucky Stars?
Oh, poor little Tink Tink.
Poor little Tink Tink.
Poor little Tink Tink. They tried so hard. The first mess up was just, the let them eat cake silhouette. And then the lackluster wig and things like that. And it's like, okay, I understand you mostly work with unconventional materials and you're like, oh, well, this is traditional fabric, this is that and the third. I don't know why you didn't think you couldn't have sat there and been like, hey, can I get a piece of cardboard? Y'all got some extra foam in the back? And then you could have just used your unconventional materials, covered them in fabric, and called it a day.
My thing with this is, this should not have been the first time for you to experiment with a beauty face. And I hate that Drag Race has gotten to the point, because we're going to talk about Michelle coming for Arietti's makeup later. I just hate that, queens who do an alternative style of makeup feel like they need to switch it up for Drag Race for Michelle because honestly, I feel like if she would have just embraced what makes her her, this could have worked instead of immediately trying to show something different. But anyway, what is your score for this?
This gets a C- for me.
This gets a D for me. It gets a D. So up next, representing Tennessee Avenue, we have Hormona Lisa. This was stunning. I thought this was so cute. Really didn't need the jewels in my opinion. I bet it would have added extra little sparkle there for it, but I still think this was stunning. This gets an A- for me.
I agree with your A-. I don't like the pink wig, but I get it if you're trying to be a goldfish.
The pink, half pink took me out of it too, but yeah.
Yeah, the half pink kind of took me out. But other than that, yeah, I agree with your A-.
So up next, representing New York Avenue, we have Lexi Love. Did you love what you see?
I think she should have waited on the little bolt roll and had a little bit more material before she threw it.
No, I think she threw it at the right time because it's supposed to unroll as she's walking. So if she waited till she was at the end, unless she just threw it to make it up for it, because from my understanding, I believe she wanted to come out as she was walking.
Right.
I believe. I may be wrong.
No, you're probably right. I liked it. It was innovative. I haven't really watched. I know you probably think I've never watched a fashion show ever. I haven't in a really long time. I happened upon some on TikTok for the few days it was open. Accidentally caught a Yeezy show. That was weird. But, however, this, I guess the bolt of fabric, I guess, is the opulence in it, because other than that, I don't really see opulence.
Yeah. That's what gets me with a lot of these girls. They made something nice, but it wasn't opulence.
Right, because I'm like, it's supposed to be monopulence. I'm confused. This is just, hey, I'm a fancy streetwalker who has a lot of fabric attached and didn't feel like taking it off the bolt. This gets a D from me.
I will give this a C because I like it. It's just not really the category. So out of all of our orange ones, which one of the three was your favorite?
Of all the orange, I'm gonna have to say Hormona Lisa.
I agree. I think Hormona Lisa did the best out of the orange category.
Yes.
So up next, representing Kentucky Avenue, we have Sizzy Toot.
Toot toot.
Toot toot. Did you give... Well, I'll go first on this one. I really like this. I thought it was fun. I love the horns. Like, this was just really cute. And I believe she was one of the ones that hollered she didn't know how to sew. So for her to pull this out, good job. Good job. Gets a B+ for me.
This gets an A- from me. Because, one, that's a really tight silhouette.
It is.
It's constructed really well. I love the fact that she made a wig out of said fabric and turned it into a pussycat wig with horns. Like, all of that is really difficult to do. The gloves, all of it, like, yeah, A-.
Moving on, representing Indiana Avenue, we have Arietti. What did you think of Arietti?
Oh, this was gorgeous. Like, extremely well constructed. It was very finished. Like, she had a point of view. You saw her perspective. Like, I love the country representation. It gives a little flamenco.
It gives opulence, which is the most important thing.
It gives opulence, which is the prompt. The wig choice was chef's kiss.
I really like that wig.
Um, because the little white deer nose is like their signature. I get it. So to me, the face is stamped. I really wish the red shoes matched a little bit better. But other than that, this gets an A+ from me.
That you clocked the one thing that I was going to clock. I'm like, I wish the shoes were just a shade darker. So it still gets an A+ for me. This was stunning. And I really need Michelle to stop telling queens who do makeup differently to do a traditional beauty face, because you don't tell the traditional beauty face queens that they need to do alternative makeup.
Right.
You don't tell them that they need to put spots all over their face or have the deer nose, as you call it. But yet, every time someone comes in with a different point of view, you're like, no, you need to show diversity. Tell the other queens to show some diversity.
She's the orange guy in this situation.
My
Everybody
goodness.
needs to be the same. Bless you. Stop it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so up next we have Lana Jaray representing Illinois Avenue. I thought this was cute, but it doesn't really give opulence. I would have loved for this to go all the way to the floor.
Same.
But yeah, and I would have chose a different hair.
Same.
So overall, I give this a B. Not bad, not bad, just a B.
C-. I wish it was longer. There's a way she could have worked that red velvet to look like opulence. There are too many rhinestones, too many embellishments. I think she was trying to give that opulence with the scarf thing, bigger wig. At least the shoes match. So, yeah. I said what I said.
So up next, representing Atlantic Avenue, we have Acacia Forgot. What did you give Acacia? And did you forget?
I didn't forget. And yeah, it's weird to say I actually kind of like this.
No, there's nothing wrong with saying you like this.
I really like this. Oh my gosh. Like, one, not, obviously I'm wearing yellow. Yellow is not necessarily my favorite color. I feel like yellow washes me out. It just so happened that this was a gift and I really like it. However, I love the construction on this. I'm getting, the dynasty references or whatever. Yeah, and even though I hate the fact that it stops at her ankles and I wish it went just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's giving very 80s, and the fact that I'm reading the decade it's supposed to be like is the forgiving note on there. So this gets an A- from me.
For me, I do not particularly care for this. And you know me, I typically love the 80s references. I agree, I wish the gown would have touched the floor or cut the second and third ruffles. If you're not going to touch the floor, you know what I'm saying?
It could have made it just like a midi skirt with
it doesn't give opulence. Yeah, it doesn't give opulence to me. And
the
also,
shoulders needed to be
if you're
bigger.
going to do the titty bib, a necklace or something to cover up where it lays on your neck, just so that we don't break the illusion. So for me, this gets a D. Up
The
next,
funny thing is like the titty, when people do the titty bib, I don't like it when they wear the big chunky necklace, because the big chunky necklace takes me out of it.
I don't think it should be a chunky necklace every time. I feel like there is creative ways to hide the bib. In this case, I feel like a necklace would have benefited that for this look. But I've seen other queens, just have garments that happen to have a choker attached to it, or other
Right.
ways to hide that bib, or get really good with your makeup to see if you could possibly blend it in.
Right. Because I do see that a lot of them don't baby powder their bibs, and you're fuzzy.
I am fuzzy. I had to not retreat. I had to go back to my old webcam because mine decided it wanted to act silly. So one of the issues that I had with the old one that made me get this one is I would occasionally go blurry. And hopefully I'll just come back. Hold your mule. Holding the mule. Is the mule held?
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hold your mule.
Okay, the mule has been held. Alright, so we're going to move on. Representing Ventura Avenue, we have Corey King. And as soon as she came out, the first thing that came to my mind was, I think I thought Putty Cat.
Tony Tom Putty Tat.
I think I thought Putty Cat. I know they said Big Bird, but I'm like, I see Tweety.
I did see a Putty Tat.
But overall, I think they were a little too harsh on this look. It's not opulence.
Mm-hmm.
Not
It's not
opulence. But I thought this was fine. It gets a C for me.
Yeah, I agree with your C. I don't know why. Like, I agree, it's not opulent, but it's really well constructed. It fits her body well. I'm not quite sure why she got so red for filth, and I appreciate the fact that she spray painted her shoes to match the outfit.
Commitment.
Commit to the bit. She knows her body proportions really well. You can tell her and
Plain.
I won't plain. Look, why did I almost say lazy? You can tell her and Plain are related, or at least are in the same family.
So moving on to Marvin Gardens, Lydia Butthole Collins. What did you think of Lydia and her butthole?
This was a whole mess. She looked like a Pomsky.
I don't know how this was safe. Now, I don't think she should have lip synced, but she should have been told how bad this was.
Something. Because she looked like that one little pug dog that got all the little wrinkles.
Yeah.
And they just went forward and never came back up.
And I remember her talking about how she was going to have body on for this. And I was looking, I'm like, I don't really see the body. Because I imagine if this was on, like, someone who was proportionized a little bit better, it wouldn't have been as bad. But it looks like it's drowning her.
It does. And then I'm surprised the makeup didn't get clogged. Or maybe not the makeup, but the fact that hat covers half of her face and you can't see it.
But yeah, I got multiple so that you could see it in different angles. This was not good.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog, as well. It's a no for me, dog.
So is this next one.
Huh?
I said, so is this next one.
Uh-oh, who's next? Who's next? Oh, yeah. 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 Joella with Pacific Avenue. It's a no for both of us.
It was a no for me, dog. There's so many things you could have did with that material that would have been so much better than what you did.
There's no need to harp on it. But yeah, it's a no. Up next, representing North Carolina Avenue, we have On Your Nerve.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. This was constructed well. And honestly, I believe what got her in the top was her deliverance. Because the gown, okay. But she came out and served opulence on the runway.
Look, Anya knows how to walk a runway.
Yes, and it's like the little details, like the cigarette holder thingy, that long cigarette holder thingy. Love that. And the way she was, I think I got a screenshot of it. Hold on. This pose right here. That alone. Yes, ma'am. Opulence. Monopulence. So for me, this gets an A minus.
I agree with your A minus.
So let's move on to Pennsylvania Avenue and visit Jules Sparkle. What did you think of Jules? And did you like her sparkle?
2 yards. She used 2 yards of that. Jules Sparkle. Her outfit was constructed very, very well, obviously. We've talked about, the not necessarily need for the amount of trim that she was just going for. I'm assuming where the little dots were where she also wanted to put trim, but it wasn't necessary. Like, the trim in the middle was enough. If you'd have did all that, you'd have just divided yourself up. I wish the shoes had been green. But other than that, it's constructed well and it gets an A minus from me.
It gets an A for me. I don't mind the shoes not being green because her hair is black, so I'm like, okay, it ties in there. But this was constructed so well. She knows how to work a sewing machine. She looks great. She looks amazing here. Up next, Sam Starr giving us some Park Place. And that is a place I want to park because this is beautiful. This is gorgeous, head to toe. I believe it was Ariette who came for her pussycat wig in the next episode. I like the wig, okay?
Yeah. And it's not your traditional pussycat wig because you could tell this one was styled.
Like this,
most pussycat wigs are like really tight to the head.
Amazing. This gets an A+ for me.
A+.
Beautiful. Moving on to Boardwalk, so we can go visit Crystal Envy. What did you think of Crystal? And do you envy?
Yeah, I do. And I love the little pop of red hair with the royal blue dress. This is also constructed very well. She looks opulent. I could see this as some rich bitch on Park Avenue talking about, you're not good enough for my son.
I will give you $1 million if you never speak to him again.
Here's your check. What did I say? I told you no.
It gives me Dynasty in a way as well. Because, I'm watching the reboot of Dynasty that they did on CW. And it gives very much modern Dynasty here.
It really does. I'm still trying to pin down that transatlantic accent. I got complimented on my British accent the other day, though.
That's good.
I have it's not the first time, but to be complimented on my British accent by somebody who's actually from across the pond was a big, huge boon for me because
I compliment yours all the time. And I think I have a good one for like 10 seconds and then it just flies out the window. Somehow I turn Australian every time. I don't know how we go from the UK to Australia, but it happens every time with me. I start off good. Give me 15 seconds. You'll be like, wait, hold on.
Because I think there's certain vowels that you hold that Australia holds, but Britain doesn't.
Yeah.
And then, of course, us being Americans, we hold consonants.
But also, the Southern accent, mine's not as thick as other people's. But I watched this dialect coach really break down how similar the Southern accent and the English accent is.
They certainly are.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, maybe that's why I'm good at it for like 15 seconds.
Huh?
I said, maybe that's why I'm good at it for like a hot second. And then somehow I just jump down under.
Yes. And I always told them, I was like, my favorite accent comes from one of our a former client's sister. Because that client was from across the pond. They were born across the pond, but then they came here, and so sister had this European Southern accent, and I just absolutely loved that transition because it was a little bit Southern Belle with a little bit more of a British twang to it. And I was just like, oh my god.
But what do you give Miss Crystal?
Oh, this gets an A+.
This gets an A for me. I really like this. Really like this. So, out of all these beautiful queens here, who had your favorite look this week?
Let's see, because there's like 1, 2, 3, and I was really, really sitting here thinking really hard about it. And I was like, if I had to give it to anybody, like as far as construction was concerned, I was gonna give it to Arietti.
I agree. Arietti is my favorite. I think that's who should have won this week's challenge. But we find out this week that in the top we have Arietti, we have Anya Nerve, and Sam Star. And in the bottom we have Lucky Stars, Corey King, and Joella. Do you agree with this top and bottom placement?
Yeah.
I don't. I think Lydia should be in the bottom over Corey.
Who?
Lydia. Miss Butthole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I don't think she could lip sync because although that is my least favorite outfit, she put everything into it. I gotta give her props for that.
Right.
So I wouldn't have her lip sync, but still, they should have said something to her. They should have said something. So we find out that the winner of this week's challenge is Sam Star. She did great. I would have gave it to Arietti, but Sam did a great job too, so I'm not going to grab my pitchfork just yet.
Right.
But yeah, Sam, stunning, great job. And we find out that the bottom two is Lucky Stars and Joella.
Yes.
Do you agree with this bottom two placement?
Yeah.
I do too. They lip sync to "The Way That You Love Me" by Paula Abdul.
You love me, baby.
That song started playing. I'm like, oh, we not playing with the lip sync songs this season.
But they were playing with the lip syncs this season.
Oh my god. Yeah. Honestly, Lucky was winning this for me at first. What made Lucky lose the lip sync was she didn't know the words to the second verse. And like there was one point where they were showing her flubbing the lyrics, and it cut straight to RuPaul, and she was like annoyed and started looking at Joella. I'm like, oh baby.
Yep.
I'm like, if you would have knew them words, even with your shoes falling off, I think RuPaul would have kept you.
Definitely.
But she didn't know the words, so RuPaul decided to keep Joella. Do you agree?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I have to. You have to know the words to the lip sync. You have to know the words to the lip sync. So,
which is poignant considering the next episode.
So, Lucky Stars now has to pull from the Badonkadonk lineup here. Michelle's up there looking all pretty in her bathing suit. Lucky chooses number 3. And unfortunately, number 3 is not the number. And I believe that was the number. Oh, I put my notes in the living room. I believe that was the number that I picked that I thought was the second one. I think that's the number I picked. I gotta go look. But yeah, unfortunately, it was not number 3. So Lucky is the pork chop of this season.
Yep, and it's unfortunate considering her situation.
Yeah. That's when I knew the nail was in the coffin. I'm like, oh, she finna go home.
Yeah.
Because, it's either one or two things. They're either fixing to go home or they're finna do really well in the challenge. And I just had a feeling, based on what we already saw, I'm like, yeah. My sister finna go into the house.
Yep.
But Lucky Stars was here, and don't you forget it. Keep on shining, my 13 lucky stars. So, they come in after the elimination, and, Arietti's a little emotional because, she was having a little showmance with Lucky there. And then what really shocked me was to see both Susie and Lexi get emotional behind Lucky.
And then Joelle was sitting there confused. Why is everybody sad?
If you have to ask who the booger is. Just saying. But yeah, Lexi saw a young her in Lucky. And, Susie is also from Florida, so they've crossed paths before, and she knows everything that Lucky could have brought into this competition.
Yeah. I mean, and it really sucks when the order of operations doesn't give you the opportunity to shine bright like you could.
Mm-hmm. See, that's why a lot of people push for non-elimination seasons. I don't. We've talked about that multiple times. But that is the one thing that a non-elimination season does give you, the opportunity to see someone's full package, to see everything that they brought, everything they wanted to give, everything that they could possibly do for that season.
But see, the thing about it makes sense for all winter seasons.
Oh yeah, that's the only time I'm like okay with it. Like All Stars 9, there was no reason for that to be non-elimination. You can still do it for charity with queens going home every week.
But for a regular season, no, because you saw we only had 3 episodes going into 4, and there was this unbelievable amount of tension for absolutely no reason. But only because people were there a lot longer than people felt necessary.
Yeah. So Joella was a little plucked. They sit down. They congratulate Sam for her win. They checked on Arietti again because, she was hurt. She didn't get the win, and plus her little boo thing went home too. Double whammy. So it's the next day in the workroom. They come in. They're sitting down. They are impersonating each other. Like I said, I really love all the personalities when they're getting along. But I'm loving all the personalities in the room. So RuPaul enters the workroom and announces that this week they'll be working in teams to present Bitch, I'm a Drag Queen, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So basically they gotta make commercials for these iconic Drag Race moments that have all been put to music. Kind of like the old school commercials that you used to get waking up in the middle of the night to.
The 3 a.m. infomercials for now.
I'm your lady. 99. Yeah. Cause I'm your lady. I'm glad that is a common experience that we've all shared. Falling asleep with the TV on and being woken up by Celine Dion at 3 a.m. screaming at us. I'm just glad that is a common thing that we always do.
And we knocked out and all of a sudden,
I'm like, whoa. Like, why are this commercial so loud?
Right, because it was like they did not regulate the volume at all. They were Michael like, if you are up at 3 a.m., you must not be able to hear.
Michael comes in screaming.
And or you get the Michael Bolton.
And then,
you get the Michael Bolton.
And then, what's that couple, those two that came in, was like, somewhere out there.
Oh, no!
I'm like, if y'all don't shut up, I'm trying to go back to sleep.
Or you get the random, like, Kenny G.
But yeah, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So Bruno comes in.
The original Careless Whisper. But we can't say that because people keep getting demonetized for that.
Oh. So Bruno comes in with the pink furry box, is back, and they have to
He's
go in there
Bruno.
and pick out the track that they are going to get. So the tracks that they could possibly get is "You're Perfect" by Aja from season 9, iconic moment. "Star Quality" from Candy Muse and Tamisha Iman, season 13, another iconic moment. "Put Your Lighters Up" by Laganja Estranja from season 6. I love when Anya pulled it up, she sang it in the tone of Little Kim's "Put Your Lighters Up." I'm like, okay, I see you. That's one of the few Little Kim songs I like. I'm like, I can get jiggy there. Up next is "No Class, No Manners." They should have just called this bitch "I'm from Chicago," because that's all people remembers from that. Morgan McMichaels and Mystique Summers from season 2. "This Is Your Moment," Jasmine Kennedy from season 14. "Glamazon Bitch" by Kennedy Davenport from season 7. "We Write the Stories" from Mariah Paris Balenciaga from season 3. Rumor has it she might be on season 3 of another show coming up. Yeah, that's what the rumors saying. You never know. You never know. "Back Rows" by Alyssa Edwards and Jay Jolie. "I Nominate Myself," one of my favorite moments, by Chanel. And "Unprofessional" by Latrice Royale from season 4. Another iconic moment because, for those who don't know, season 4 was the first season that I watched because that's what was on Hulu at the time, season 4 onwards. And I remember getting to this and I'm like, ooh, baby, y'all are in trouble. It felt like Mama was fussing at everybody and I'm like, So they ended up in their 2 teams with volume 1 and volume 2. Well, this is volume 1 and the orange is volume 2. So now knowing what the songs eventually sound like, which one would you would have liked to have done?
I like the Laganja one.
That was really good. Although Corey flubbed it, I really like the Glamazon Bitch song. So it really irritated me when Corey didn't do it right. I'm like, ugh. Because as we're watching it, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, I like this song. But then I'm sitting there, I'm like, Corey, what are you doing? Corey.
Right.
Corey! You got the best song, what are you doing? Either that or the Jasmine Kennedy, "This Is Your Moment." Oh, my dramatic ass.
It's your moment.
My dramatic ass. But anyway, they all sit down, they start planning how they're going to do the gig, and they're directing themselves, which really surprises me that they weren't judged in teams because they did so much teamwork here.
Right.
But hey, you know me, I'm big on if you work as a team, judge as a team.
Right. I think that was the original idea, was to judge as teams, and then some people just did so poorly they were like, we're going to judge you individually.
So the category for the runway this week is "Quilted for Her Pleasure." Now, typically we look at RuPaul. We're going to, they're out of order because I forgot to get RuPaul screenshot, so I got it after the runway. So we still gonna talk about Mama Ru, but for now we're gonna talk about the girls first this time. So up first we had Lydia B. Collins, Miss Butthole. What did you think of Lydia and her butthole?
This was really campy, although I didn't quite understand it. Like, the explanation that was given and what I'm seeing on the screen were 2 completely different monsters. Other than that, I do like the outfit. So I'm gonna give it a B+.
I was watching the pit stop earlier today, and Daya Betty was this week's special guest. And she said this was very Willow Pill coded, and I'm like, oh my god, yes. This is very much something I could see Willow Pill wearing. I like it. I'm gonna give it an A-.
You do that.
I am. Up next is Lana Del Rey. Now, Miss Lana here, I thought this was really cute. It's giving very Sailor Moon. You know me, I love some Sailor Moon.
Yep.
The only thing is the quilted part that's covering her legs. I wish that would have gone up to her knees. Because I feel like right there on the calf is like a real awkward spot for them. And it makes her legs look short. And, you know, she got some long legs. So either cut it down or bring it up to the knee.
Make it longer.
Yeah, make it longer, make it shorter. It's in a weird spot there. But overall, I thought this was cute. This gets a B+ for me.
I'm gonna give it a C. There's a lot going on. I do get the Sailor Moon reference. Yeah, just a C for me.
Moving onwards to Joella. What did you think of Joe? And did you forget the Ella?
No, but apparently she forgot an outfit.
Oh no, she didn't forget it. let's not forget what was on the back of this. This
mattress.
Anyway, what did you think? What's your score?
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog. I have to agree. Up next is Ariete. I thought this was so cute. This was so good. Now, I will say it didn't read quilt to me. So I had to knock it down a little bit, but this was fashion.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely fashion. Personal taste, this would have been an A+, but for this category, I have to give it a B because it's not reading quilt like the others.
It's not giving understood the prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with your assessment because, like, I loved the outfit, but when I was, like, thinking about the prompt, I'm like, but where's the quilt at? Like, is that quilted? I'm confused because it's not giving quilt. It's just giving Matrix in Africa.
So up next is Jules Sparkle. What did you think of Jules? And did you like her sparkle?
I got some supervillain vibes from this. I think the fabric pattern takes away from what I assume is like a quilted corset, which is impressive, by the way. But other than that, like, I really do like this. I love the fact that everybody's putting this, like, orangish red hair with this navy blue fabric all the time.
It gives it a little pop.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm really liking that they're doing this. I think the only thing is I really wish there had been like a knee high, thigh high, something. A lot of Desmond's taste is rubbing off on me when it comes to some of these outfits.
But you know I was gonna say it, but I'll let you finish. What's your score?
But it's like, and because that wasn't there, I kind of gotta drop the grade a little bit. This gets a B for me.
I have to agree with your B. This needed a thigh high, not a knee. It needs a thigh high for this one. And it doesn't read quilt all the way like the train does. But like if she came out without that train, I would have been like, I'm not really getting quilt here.
Exactly.
I know it's the same material, but I think it's just that plus it's a navy dark blue on the stage with all those bright ass lights. I'm thinking it loses some of the detail in it, kind of like the black that Lexi wears later, because if you look in close, you see all the quiltedness.
Right.
Because you it's black, you were black. Like...
But you see it in the back with the lining.
So yeah, I would have to give it a B. I agree with your B. Up next is Hormona Lisa. I love this.
I'm so glad it's not a pink wig.
She came out... And I'm like, oh my god, my granny had this exact quilt. Several of these quilts, if we're going to be honest. So, it gave the nostalgia for me. It is done well.
Mm-hmm.
I give this an A. I really enjoyed this. What did you think of Miss Hormona and her Lisa?
I agree with your A because it's giving quilt. I know that windmill pattern. Um, it looks like really homey, like a nice, luxurious
Yeah, like it looks
house
warm.
coat. It doesn't help that both of these episodes were during our little cold snap here in Texas. Um, but yeah. Other than that, I agree with your A.
Let's move onwards to Crystal Envy. What did you think of Crystal?
Uh,
And did you envy?
yeah, I did actually. I really did. I really, really did. This also looks extremely warm. This is giving. I own this cabin resort, and I am the queen, and you are all my minions. Open the way so I can get on the ski lift. This reminds me of a puffer jacket I had in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
It looks comfortable. It looks rich. It looks luxe. And then the little lobster outfit underneath. Ugh. Just imagine if those hadn't had a heel and those had just been like the hoof shoes. Ugh.
Yeah.
So this gets an A+ for me if you can't tell, because I keep going on and on and on about it.
I have to agree. This was stunning. She walked out in this, and I was just quiet.
Gobsmacked.
Beautiful. It gave quilt. I agree with your A+. This was everything.
Yeesh.
Up next is Susie 2. Miss Susie, I thought this was cute. I thought this was fun, different for Susie from what we've been seeing so far. I guess I'm a little different. I was kind of sad she didn't do her normal makeup that she normally do, that Michelle praised her for not doing. But don't be quiet. I kind of thought it would have been cute with this look. But hey, overall, this was really solid. I wish there was a necklace. I wish there was a necklace here. So I'll give this a good B. What did you think of Susie? And do you give it a 2?
I agree. I agree with all of your assessment. I like the little, like, avant-garde, like, patchworkness of it. I like that it's giving, like, rich elf. Like, that's what I'm getting from it.
I believe she did say, I think she used the word Elvin at one point. And my ears went, Elvin?
That, can you tell we're really into D&D? Like, it's giving just elf. It's giving, like, rich druid queen elf. If you watch Critical Role, like, this is what the voice of the Tempest wears to a formal gala. Yes, I love this so much. And I agree with your B.
Moving on to Sam Starr. What did you think of Sam?
You know who her mother is.
That is true.
You know who her mother is. And you can tell by everything she puts out. The face the card does not decline. She needs a little bit more blush, but other than that, face card don't decline. I love the sleeper bag, like, dress. This is giving I want to say it's not oh my god, it's the other one, Utica Queen. I like, but
Speaking
this
of
is
Utica, I'm gonna bring her up a little bit later.
But, like, other than that, like, yeah, I love this. I love the hair sprawled out on the pillow. It's like Lux Barbie. So yeah, it gets an A.
It gets an A+ for me. I absolutely adore this. And speaking of her drag mother, she's actually doing well on Worst Cooks in America right now. as far as I've watched, I think I'm like an episode behind. She's still there, but yeah, I thought this was stunning. This was beautiful, and different from what the other queens did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, A+ for me.
A+.
Up next is Acacia Forgot. I like this.
Mm-hmm. But, however, comma.
I don't know if it seems like something's missing from this outfit. I just don't know what. Usually I could be like, oh, maybe this, maybe that. But for me, something's missing and I don't know what. So I'm going to give this a C+.
Socks. Socks. Little ruffle socks are missing from this outfit. Little ruffle socks, I think, would have made this outfit so much better. And I know that's so weirdly weird to say, but yes, I'm thinking white patent leather shoes with the white little ruffle socks would have made this outfit. That's how I would have styled it. Maybe some different jewelry. I don't like the bangs on the wig.
Not the bang.
The bang. I think it's too far over. It's all the way over here instead of like where it needs to be. And that might be what the problem is. I think if she'd have wore a different wig, it would have looked better too.
But what is your score for Miss Acacia?
Other than that, Miss Acacia got like a B- from me.
All right. Up next, we have On Your Nerve, honey. What you think of Miss Anya? And did she get on your nerve?
Nah, she ain't get on my nerve. Look, this was great. This was lovely. I love the whole Whoopi Goldberg plus sized wig. I've never seen this type of quilting before, but I really, really like it. I appreciate it. And Anya knows how to walk in her strength. Like, one of her big strengths that I've seen so far this season is she knows how to walk. She knows how to sell whatever garment she's in, especially if she is comfortable in it. She will walk out of an outfit. And I think that's what her saving grace is. And I appreciate the fact that it's a big wig and not just a head wrap or a kitten wig or something tiny. It's like, no, the wig is big. She's taking up space. I'm saving space for this outfit since that seems to be the trend. This gets an A+ from me.
This was everything for me. I love the quilt work on it. This was educational, beautiful, and like you said, she knows how to deliver on that runway. I, as well, will be giving it an A+. Up next is Lexi Love. And boy, do I love this outfit. Oh, my God. We brought up Utica earlier. Utica actually made this outfit here for Lexi.
You know what? And I see it.
When I saw it on Blue Sky, I was like, oh my God, yes, I see. It gives very much Utica here. But it's stunning. I don't want to spoil, but A+. I love this.
Yes.
Love this so much. What did you think of Lexi, and did you love?
Now that I know who made it, that makes all the dang difference. God, yeah, I love this now. It's great. And you know, like, thinking about Lux as a person, it fits their personality. I could see this on some avant-garde, I forgot what that brand was. But this looks like almost Betsy Johnson-esque, like, type runway. So, yeah. I forgot who the heck this. In the late 90s, early aughts, there was, like, this fashion duo that was, like, really, really big. And I could see this walking down their runway, too. If anybody can remember who they are, put it down below. I'm having super huge brain fart because that was 20 years ago for me.
But what did you? What is your score for Miss Lexi?
I gave it an A.
Moving onwards, we have Corey King. What did you think of Corey King?
I really wish she'd have wore something bigger. Here's the thing. Because you know how to proportion your body just so. And I love it. You proportion your body just so to fit your frame. However, you stopped at your neck. So now these super ginormous boobs you got going on have swallowed your little tiny peanut head. And I love you as a queen. Like, don't get me wrong. You need to work from the neck up when it comes to how you style yourself. If she'd put on that big blonde wig that she had on during the music video,
or the big black one that she wore for the first runway, I think would have worked here.
Exactly. I think it would have sold the whole outfit. What kills it for me also are those shoes. Because you're wearing your dancing shoes like you expected to have to lip sync. And then I didn't notice the big chunk in the back.
It wasn't until they pointed it out, and even when I was watching the runway, they didn't point it out then. It was when Michelle brought it up during the critiques, when they showed it.
Exactly, because other than that, I wouldn't have known that there was a super huge chunk in the back.
Yeah.
Because other than that, it's a really great outfit. Like, it's B- worthy. Just that wig kind of messes it up, which brings it down to a C.
Damn. For me, I agree. The wig, from the neck down, this is gorgeous. Honestly, from the face down, because the mug is right.
Right.
I just really wish the hair was bigger to go with the bigness of this outfit. And I do
you got
agree.
That big old on.
Yeah, I do agree that a different shoe, a lovely thigh high, would have been great here. For me, I'm still gonna give this a B. There's enough that I like. The hair and the shoes, that's it. But the rest, I'm here for. Now, let's look at our hostess with the mostest. It's RuPaul. What did you think of RuPaul this week, and what is your score?
Did not like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the most laziest outfit Ru could have ever worn, and I know she's not picking out her outfits. I know somebody is styling her, but this gives me like mid 2000s just midi dress with the cold shoulder. Just it gets a C for me.
And see, everything you don't like about it is what I do like about it.
I don't like it.
This gets an A for me. I'm loving the style of RuPaul this season. I am. So this week we were joined by Michelle Visage, Carson Cressy.
I love that wig on her.
And Julia Shelfer. Did not know who this lady was.
Look, I don't know who she is either. She just looks like Brittany Murphy from the early 2000s, from when she was doing
that. I can see Brittany Murphy.
That one show, the one from the 60s that was really popular and inspired that 70s show and that 90s show. But then that 70s show,
they canceled after 3 seasons. Y'all, bring the 90s show back. That was good. I may have been the only one watching it, but I was entertained. Anyway.
But yeah, she's like, early Brittany Murphy. I miss her.
So, now that we have all these queens lined up here, who had your favorite look this week?
My favorite look is going to have to be what's her name's baby?
Sam Star with the sleeping bag?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Sam Star. My favorite is Lexi Love.
Okay.
Oh, Miss Lexi. Honorable mention, Anya. But
Yep, on mention on you.
So now let's look at these performances. Up first, we have Team 1, Volume 1 of Bitch, I'm a Drag Queen. So we had Lydia and Lana Jarre here with Crystal in the background, but it's Lydia and Lana Jarre here. What did you think of these two together? Because I wasn't. I'm just going to say this about the whole first group. I was not really impressed.
I wasn't either. Like, the commercials were really great, but, like, the chemistry was kind of off.
I don't even think the commercials were really good. There was one queen who did a fantastic job, and I will give her props when we get to her. Actually, you see her tumbleweeding behind everybody right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just, I don't know. You could tell these two don't know country.
At all.
And I guess they tried to embody their idea of what country is. Because, the whole thing was to take the songs and make them your own, not to actually recreate the scenes that they're referencing.
Right.
But yeah, it didn't hit for me. It didn't hit for me.
Mm-mm.
Same for Joella here doing the We Write the Stories. I feel like she came in too strong. Like, she went to level 10 evangelistic lady praying for... You need to build up to that. Yeah, I felt like she needed to build up to that, and it just felt like she came in, and I'm like, oh, sis.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on.
It was like, it should have just been like, let me talk to you really quick. And then when you get to that part, you...
Yeah, and then let it build up and build up, and then by the end, be what it was.
Right. Rolling on the floor, showing all your goodies.
Oh, I cackled when she rolled down them steps. That's the only part that was funny to me. When she rolled down them steps, I was like, oh, that's the type of tomfoolery I would have done. I'm like, hold on, I'm going to roll down these steps, y'all. Hold on. Weave. So up next, we had back rolls from Jill Sparkles and Arietti. I'm really shocked the judges didn't particularly care for Arietti's performance, because I don't think Jules outshined her at all. I thought they both did a really good job here.
Kind of do, just a little bit.
Okay.
With the judges, I think it was just because one was giving more face than the other one was. And, was exaggerating their face. I think, but the one that was exaggerating their face wasn't the one that they were supposed to be, and yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but for me, I thought it was just fine. Up next is the I Nominate Myself, Miss Hormona Lisa. I thought this was good. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad she didn't really take the directive that the other girls were giving her, because I think what was the final product was good.
Yeah, I think what they showed while they were filming was not a representation of what the final product ended up being, because the final product was a lot better than what they showed while they were recording.
And then Unprofessional Crystal Envy, thank you. Thank you, because if you weren't in this group, round of applause, yes, if you were not in this group, the professional that you are, yeah, goodness, because baby, that's when I really perked up here. I'm like, oh wait, oh okay, I'm feeling what y'all are putting down.
And then it happened to be the last one.
Yeah,
because I'm not even gonna lie, I was half asleep through the rest of them.
So now it's time for Volume 2, and now this is the group I think everyone did well except for one person.
Yeah.
Volume 2. Up first was Susie Toot with the You're Perfect. 8 down.
Mm-hmm. And I love the face paint, man.
Susie ate this down. I wasn't sure about Susie at first, but I think Miss Susie gonna make it pretty far.
I think so too.
I think Miss Susie gonna make it pretty far. I don't have my notes near me on who we picked for our top 3. I don't remember if I put Susie in there or not, but I'm going to be mad if I go look and see that I didn't put Susie in there, because, honey, she is coming through. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Star Quality with Sam and Acacia. Again, you know, they didn't understand when they were prepping it the whole tango. I will call it a tango is of it all. But seeing them do it, and seeing the final product, this was really good. I thought the dancing worked. I wish Acacia would have gave me more candy, because it seems like Sandy's giving more candy. Star is giving more candy than Acacia is, and that's who Acacia's supposed to be. But overall, I thought this was really good. What did you think of this duo?
I agree with your assessment, because I was having a hard time telling who was supposed to be who. It seemed like she just wasn't in it. She just seemed elsewhere. So, yeah.
Moving on to Anya Nerve, telling us to put our lighters up, honey. Amazing.
This was great.
Freaking amazing. Like, this is how you do it. I love this so much. This was so good. So good. This is your moment from Lexi Love. I thought she did great here. I saw some people online trying to bring her down. I'm like, I thought she did great. And the dramatics of it all. You know me,
she did the best she could with what she was given.
Like I said, if y'all would have gave me this song, y'all thought she was dramatic here. I'm going to have my moment, okay? Who would have had my moment was me, okay? And then we had Glamazon Bitch by Miss Corey King here. I'm so disappointed in Corey.
I don't think she understood the assignment.
I think she did, but I think she was going for a comedy that she was not able to achieve with this track.
Right.
She was trying to make the comedy based off of her outfit rather than the track, and I think that's where she fucked up at. She should have went off the Glamazon Bitch and not off of, oh, they hated my yellow outfit last week, I can make that funny. No.
Right.
That's not what this was.
Quite literally turned the yellow outfit into the same outfit, but a leotard.
Yeah, and the whole bouncing on the eggs, and that whole ending piece where she kept slipping and falling was not funny at all. And I'm like, you know me, I judge in groups, so she would have got a pass this week because the rest of them did so great. But knowing RuPaul, I'm like, yeah, they're going to do individual, aren't they? Because Corey's got the lip sync for this. I can see that. But yeah, me personally, I like the second group better. But RuPaul said the thing that annoys me the most, although you worked as groups, you will be judged individually. Fine. So,
I'll give it to you this one time.
In the top, we have Crystal, Anya, and Susie 2. In the bottom, we have Corey, Arietti, and Joella. Do you agree with the tops and bottoms?
I don't know why Arietti.
That part, I don't think she should have been there.
Yeah,
you could have had either Lana or Lydia in that bottom if we're going to be real. If we're going to be real.
Right.
But hey, RuPaul, it's RuPaul's show, not ours.
Exactly.
So we find out that the winner of this week's challenge is On Your Nerve. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree, hands down. She did great in the challenge, and she had one of my favorite runways. So yeah. We find out that the bottom two is Joella and Corey King. And they're lip syncing to another song that I've been wanting to be used for the longest, Buttons, by the Pussycat Dolls. Now this one is featuring Snoop Dogg.
Right. Who's currently canceled.
And we fuck Snoop Dogg.
Currently canceled.
Joella turned around for the Snoop Dogg verse, trying to make it seem like RuPaul is doing it. And part of me was like, does she not know the words to this rap?
She didn't.
She didn't. We gonna talk about that. But overall, this lip sync was underwhelming for me.
It was.
It's the Pussycat Dolls. Like, it's a song that we've all been waiting for a while. And I think Corey did fine. I think Corey at the end was really what it was.
Giving.
But it was at the end and it wasn't the whole way through.
Right.
And then Joella didn't know the words to Snoop's verse.
Either one of them.
Either one of them. Which really was, I'm like, girl. Like, I don't understand. Like, of course everybody knows the words to Buttons. But I get it, not everybody knows the verse by Snoop Dogg.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it's just the over preparedness that I do. I would have knew this song forwards and backwards, no matter how I would have felt this week. They would have said, oh, the lip sync song for this week is Buttons. Okay, bet. I'm going to know every single word. Just in case. Even though I'm like, oh, I'm going to do great in this challenge, but I'm still be back there. Come on, baby, loosen up my buttons, babe. I would have learned that verse. Both of them verses. Yeah, so it was just kind of like, but yeah, towards the end, Corey did kick it up. And I'm like, okay, Corey, I'm buying a ticket now. I'm finna come see you. But yeah, it is, I think, yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for that, I would have hollered sent both of them home. But Corey came at the end. I'm like, okay. No need to send them
I like
home.
the little ponytail reveal at the end.
No need to send them both home, yeah. So, RuPaul decided to keep Corey King. Do you agree with that decision?
Yes.
I do as well. And now, it is Joella's turn to pull a leather from the badunkadunk trunk. Now, Michelle looks lovely as always in her badunkadunk swimsuit realness. Joella chose number 8. And unfortunately, that did not pull Michelle down. Now, I'm going to reference the pit stop again. Because Diabetes had an idea. She's like, what if the other number is 1? Because it's season 17. Because the first one was 7. And I'm like, bitch, if that other one is 1 and it was to represent, I would be so mad that I didn't think about that in the moment. We're on season 17. Of course the other number is 1. So if the other number is 1,
1, 7, or 10.
After Diabetes said 1, I can't, like, now that's all I can think about. It's number 1. It has to be. It's season 17. But yeah, Joella unfortunately will sashay away. So they danced the night away like they didn't crush that lady's dreams. And we find out next week it's the return of RDR Live. Now I know a lot of people don't like this challenge, but I do. So I'm glad it's back. But then again, I'm a big, for those who don't know, I do watch. Yeah, for those who don't know, I do watch Saturday Night Live. I watch it pretty much every week unless somebody's there that I just can't. I can't
stand.
Like Dave Chappelle a few weeks ago, I couldn't. But Timothy Chalamet, I was there. He did a good job. Even did a little singing. I'm like, look at you, sing your little heart out. But yeah, so I really like RDR Live. I've liked it every time they've done it. So I say keep doing it.
Hey.
But honey, this was a long one, but we covered the 2 episodes.
Yes, sorry that life was lifing last weekend. And
listen, it's gonna be all okay. So, is there anything else you want to add about these 2 episodes?
They were pretty decent episodes. Hopefully, we're back on track
because the first 2 were really good.
They really were, because I had
the third and fourth one. So let's hope episode 5 has a good lip sync. Okay. But anyway, tell them where they can find you on social medias.
You can find me at Christian McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on most social media, since we're in the process of deleting social media.
And you can find me in the club, pocket full of bud, mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDSMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all soon. Bye.